Hello everyone and welcome back to Tabletop Union. Today we're looking at the Rivals of Nethermaze for Warhammer Underworlds Gnarlwood. Now these were the two teams originally in the Nethermaze box. Previously I had gotten every single big box from Underworlds and I fell behind in the Harrow Deep and Nethermaze, and I just decided I don't need the Nethermaze box. It feels a little bad for not having it for sort of completionist collector's sake, but I mean, all it would really be that I'm missing is the boards. If there's a bunch of universal cards that I'm missing, I don't care because they weren't Rivals decks at that point in time. So, yeah, this will come with two war bands. And you have the Shadeborn, which are the elves. They are daughters of Cain, sent out by Marathi. And then we have Skittershank's Clawpack, which are some Clan Eshin Skaven assassins. The Shadeborn comes with 4 fighters, 4 double-sided fighter cards, and 32 card the Shadeborn Rivals deck. And Skittershank's Clawpack comes with 5 fighters, 5 double-sided fighter cards, 32 card Skittershank's Clawpack Rivals deck. Once again, you can view this set's cards and discover more at warhammerunderworlds.com. Deep in the root halls of the Gnarlwood, the survivors of Nethermaze battle their rivals. Enhance your Warhammer Underworlds experience with the Rivals of Nethermaze expansion. This pack contains 2 warbands and their rivals decks, the Shadeborn and Skittershank's Clawpack. Each warband's rivals deck contains 32 unique cards for that warband, 20 power cards, and 12 objectives cards. Bring new tactics and challenges to your games of Warhammer Underworlds Gnarlwood using the Rivals of Nethermaze. Good little bit of copywriting. Yeah, so let's open it up. I'll try and be a little quicker in this video. I know my videos can run kind of long, so I will do my best. Alright, so here we have the instructions. Oh, this is the front. That's a nice fold-out one. Fancy. That goes through the Skaven first, and then we go into the Shadeborn. This unit type, not these models specifically, but this unit type was originally introduced in Warcry, the Catacombs box set, and they weren't push fit and they were pretty fiddly to put together. So I'm guessing these will be a little easier since they're push fit. But we'll see. It just means like arms are usually attached to the weapons and things like that. Fewer parts. They're all painted in a fashion that is much better than I could do. Alright, so first we'll look at the Shadeborn. So yeah, it looks very thin pieces. That's going to be fun to cut out. That's going to be fun to snip off. Otherwise, nothing else should have a risk of snapping. Oh, crap. So yeah, these and these you got to be careful of because they're very thin bits. So when you're cutting them out, I would cut them out first, and I would try and brace what you're holding and carefully clip. And, you know, do a little prayer to Sigmar or whatever the heck it is you do. the hand crossbow there. Yeah. And the second part. It seems like there's not a lot to these, just because of how thin they are. As for parts that look like they'll be problematic, these look pretty good. I guess just be a little careful when snipping off the blade parts here. And this bit here. But it looks better than the first sprue. And now let's look at the Skaven. Mind the tails. This seems like there's a lot more going on. There's more fighters, so that makes sense. Got some cool like basing elements like these pipes that Skittershank stands on, and this guy's like leaping off on like a plume of like Eshin escape smoke or something. I don't know. Lots of poison blades. This lovely brown color. I like the dark purple of the Shadeborn more, personally. And here we got like the majority of the bodies. Yeah, I'd be careful of this tail. This tail, so it's pretty close to the base, so it's probably not going to be too bad. Same with this one. Yeah, I'd just be really careful with this. One thing, I love the sculpted bases for Underworld's warbands. I think they're awesome, but I really hate how they'll like have like a bit of the foot on them already. So I like to paint the bases and the models separately, because these bases are just like, they're sculpted, they're really nice. They deserve having a bit of time taken on them, like to do them, and yeah, that just makes it awkward. Oh, here we go, little rat friend. Yeah. Maybe it's their cousin or something. I don't know. And then we get both of the Rivals decks for the factions. So let's just try to quickly rip this open. There we go. Come with the cardboard backing, just, you know, keep them from bending. We'll just quickly go through these. I'll read the blurb. So, Skittershank's Claw Pack. Skidding through the dark places of Nethermaze, Skittershank's Claw Pack of deadly Eshin assassins know nothing of mercy nor pity. At the bidding of the dread Council of 13, they seek the great treasures and incalculably valuable artifacts that are rumored to lie within Nethermaze's dank, murkish depths. But no simple clan rats are these. The Claw Pack has been trained to the peak of Skaven fighting ability, making each member as fast and silent as an arrow at night. Capable of slipping undetected into a foe's campsite, slit throats, or poison supplies without leaving so much as a ripple upon water, woe betide any who fall beneath the blades of Skittershank's Claw Pack. And as usual on the back, there's a list of all the cards. So here we got the gang, Creepkin Whisper. So he inspires if one or more enemy leaders are out of action and or this fighter makes an attack action that targets an enemy leader. So that's leaning into the assassin vibe right there. There's the inspired side for you to look at. So it gives a bunch of special rules. Here's crouched. Sure. Same inspired condition. And there's the card. Bring it down a bit. Next we have Snip Pad Paw. And you can have a look. Inspired. Here's the leader, Slink Skittershank. Paired Weeping Blades. Sounds cool. So this one is slightly different. So inspired condition. One or more enemy leaders are out of action, or an enemy leader has 4 or more wound counters. So looking back, Creep, Kin Whisper, and Crouched both use the leader out of action or target an enemy leader. And Snip and Slink use enemy leader out of action or the enemy leader has 4 or more wound counters. And Skulk, the last one, he is the target an enemy leader variety of Inspire. And we'll do objectives. So arm to the fangs, collateral damage, daggers in the dark, dazed and confused, impressive students, infiltrate their lair, Killer Supreme, rattled, unsurprising fate, way of the hidden paw, way of the lashing tail, and way of the striking fang. And then their gambits, so their ploys, closing for the kill, misplaced optimism, poison traps, probing attack, redirected attack, skittering blur, spitting cobra technique, sweep the leg, way of the iron paw, way of the slinking rat, Deathmaster, Eshin throwing stars, gas mask, merciless, prehensile tail, ricocheting triskel, I'm not sure. Shadowpaw, spy rats, supernatural agility, and the face gouger fangs. Nasty. So when I did my Grin Crack unboxing, I commented on how the art was so much better than from Harrow Deep and Nethermaze, but this art is actually pretty good. The fighter card art especially, But even just the regular one is better. It's a lot better than what I remember from the Herody box. But not as good as the stuff we've been seeing from Gnarlwood, in my opinion. But I had to, mention that just because, yeah, not too bad. And then quickly, sorry, my throat is a little dry. We have the Shadeborn. A band of nightmare shadow assassins, the Shadeborn have merged in Nethermaze using umbral paths only they can traverse. Following the steps of past elves that have traveled these halls and failed to return, their arrogant confidence is matched only by their skill and murderous intent. Sent by Marathi, their cult leader, these throat cutters can manipulate the very stuff of shadows with but a gesture. This tenebrial power will serve them well should they hope to unravel the horrifying secret that lurks at the center of Nethermaze. Light your flickering lamps and pray to your uncaring gods, for when darkness closes in, know that the Shadeborn are coming and no shadow in all the mortal realms can hide you. Spooky, scary stuff. So we'll quickly look through this. Drusilla Vizirax, assassin. She makes an attack action that targets an enemy fighter with one or more wound counters. So, attacking a damaged enemy. There's the inspired side. Silthale Shadestalker, assassin. She's your leader, and it looks like she flies as well. Same inspired condition. There's the inspired side. Psylark Greyblood, assassin. Same inspired condition. There's the inspired side. And he's actually becomes... Oh, he starts off as a wizard. Okay, interesting. Doesn't improve at being a wizard, though. And Belissa Umbrail. Same inspired condition. And there's the inspired side. Objectives, we have a vicious kill. All is shadow. Coiling darkness. Fighting in the shade. Nowhere to hide. And this art is also pretty good. Prolonging the inevitable. Sadistic tendencies. Savor the kill. Strike the head. The shadows deepen. Umbral raid. And unseen malice. Oh, that's weird. Bunch of little fang grins going on. That one's a bit unsettling. And so gambits, upgrades. We have Abyssal Summoning, Gloomweb Hex, Impenetrable Darkness, Rippling Darkness, Shadestalker Darts, Shadow Binding, Smoke and Mirrors, Suffocating Shadows, Tenebrial Manipulation, Vanish into the Gloom, Abyssal Guidance, Aided by Darkness, Amulet of Gathering Darkness, Darkness, no, Dusk We Were Bracers, Mask of Shadowed Mirrors, Rapid Fire, Ruthless Aim, Shadewalker, Umbral and Voidling. Oh, there's more of those like creepy looking mouths. Okay, so that is the Shadeborn. So I hope you found that interesting. I hope it was quick enough for you. I'm going to go away and build these and then come back and show you how it went. Let you know any problems I had. I'll see you in a moment. All right, so put them together. Now let's take a look at them. We'll start with the Skittershank's Claw Pack, I believe is the name. The Skaven. These were generally pretty complicated to put together. They were like little puzzles, trying to figure out how things sort of twisted together. You have to be very careful when following the instructions to do it just how it says, because some of these parts can only go together in certain order. So here's a guy with his sling. Then they got this guy with two blades. They're very, very nice poses, very dynamic. I can't wait for the like Skaven range to get refreshed, because holy smokes, these are so much better than like the current Skaven models. This guy was probably the most difficult, just because like trying to like figure out which way his chest sort of like, that also had his tail connected to like the rest of his body, and then yeah, it was very unintuitive. But the end result is very cool. The billowing cape, the plume of smoke that he's standing on. Really, it's him like leaping off from, I guess. He's throwing down like a smoke bomb and like ninja vanishing, I guess, maybe. His fighting claws and sword. Very cool. Here's the netter. I really like the base on this one because he's like running along the side of it. I haven't put it in fully. I don't usually put the Underworlds Warband models fully into the bases because I like to paint them separately. And if you put them in all the way, they can be sometimes a little tight to try and get out. This guy was also very complicated to put together as well. Definitely not like a beginner-friendly kit, which makes it funny that they're in like the starter set or one of the starter sets, but you know, undeniably cool looking. He's got his little rat friend running along with him. And then here we have Skittershank himself. I hope I'm getting the name right. Yeah, very cool. Once again, a really nice base. The sewer theme is excellent. Now, I know they used to do it where the bases, each warband had like different looking bases, and they justified that as being part of the Curse of the Cattle-Frames, which is what originally started Underworlds with Shadespire, where they were stuck in the city of Shadespire, and the former ruling class of that city was the Cattle-Frames, and they pissed off Nagash by trying to cheat death, And so he cursed them. That's the curse of the Gallifreyans. And the curse was you get stuck in the city, you can never leave. And so originally, the bases were a representation of how each different warband perceived the city, and that curse carried over into like Beastgrave and Direchasm. Like it bled through like whatever portal or whatever took them from Shadespire to the Beastgrave Mountain. But I think since then they've said that the curse has been broken and they're not like under it anymore. So the different sculpted bases don't make as much sense to me, but hell, they look cool. That was quite a little tangent I went on. And now we'll look at the Shadeborn. These were easier to put together, and they were easier than the Warcry warband that these are based on. Originally in the Catacombs box, there was a Shadeborn warband. They were the first instance of it. This is a continuation of that. And those were not fun to put together, but they also weren't like push fit. But really nice motion. They got their cloak / shadow magic going on as usual. Another guy with his dual knives. This, to me, I perceive this as like a dark purple, but maybe it's a dark blue. I know when you are cleaning it up and you've like sanded at it and stuff. I can try to find one. Wow. Did a pretty good job of covering that up, I guess. It looks more blue, like blueberry blue, kind of. But to me, it looks dark purple like this. It was really hard to see any of the mold lines on this because it was so dark. It just was not conducive. And it was kind of I mentioned this in the Looncord video, but to me, I'm convinced that the different colored plastics are of different like densities or something, and some are easier to work with than others. Like the green from the Looncord was easy. This was, other than not being able to see the mold lines so well, this was normal to a little difficult to work with. The brown here just really sucked to work with. I did not enjoy that. But yeah, anyways, please let me know if you found the same thing with Underworlds. And finally, here's the leader of the band. Pretty cool model. Couple issues. You may be able to see it. Her blade is severely bent for me. Like just really, really bent. And I think I understand sort of why this happened. It looks like on the sprue there's like a raised, like if this is like the plane of the sprue, there was like a raised bit that this was supposed to attach to, but it wasn't attached. It had detached itself, I guess, during the molding and drooped down. So it was bowed instead of straight. So yeah, I'm going to try and contact Games Workshop customer support, see if they can tell me how I can fix this. I know with resin I could just heat it up and bend it, but plastic I think is a little different. I'll try to remember to post like a link, pin a comment at the top with what ends up happening with that, just in case yours is also like this, but that is just a really, really bad bend. I didn't notice until I was putting it together. And clipping out the parts for this one was kind of terrifying. The staff is super thin, and when I was clipping off towards the base, I was scared of it breaking. Her mask and the front of her, like the clasp of her cloak, and then these chains flying down here. Let me get my giant sausage finger out of the way. These chains here, they are one piece, and I was sure I was going to snap one of these chains, but luckily I didn't. And then I thought I was going to snap part of her headdress, but luckily I didn't. Amazing to me, this all came off okay, and if it wasn't for this damn warped bent blade, this would have been like great. So hope I can figure that out. But they are the two warbands and the rivals of Nethermaze, or the Nethermaze box proper if you can find that and you want it. Hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions about troubles you're having putting them together, feel free to drop a comment and I will try and give you some advice on how I tackled it. Otherwise, yeah. Let me know what you're thinking of this longer format video. I don't know. I kind of like longer format videos, but a lot of people probably don't like really long ones. And I tend to ramble a bit, which is weird because I'm normally pretty quiet. Anyways, yep. I never know quite how to end these, but thank you for watching the video. If you watched it all the way to the end, thank you very much. Hopefully you'll come back to watch some more. And I'll see you next time then. All right, bye.